Well, I did a video the other day on my rifles, 22 rifles. I thought I'd show you my 22 pistols. Um, this is my newest addition to my collection. The very expensive Phoenix Arms. It's not a bad gun. You really can't, the only gun I could say that's probably a better deal than this one would be the Hi-Point 9mm. But it's not a bad gun. I can't remember what I paid for it, but they don't charge a whole lot. It's not a bad gun. I've got the extra magazine and the long barrel with it. Not a whole lot to say about it. You know, it's a semi-automatic. Not too bad. Anyway, that's the newest in my collection. I got a couple of revolvers too. This one here, it's kind of a funny story. This is Iverson Johnson 22 Super Shot Sealed 8. A friend of mine had this and asked me if I'd work on it for him. It had a problem with the cylinder indexing and locking in place properly. It was just kind of loose and wouldn't index or rotate properly. So anyway, I got it from him. I took it all apart and I had to fight with it too. I finally got the thing where it would index properly. And so anyway, I took it back over to him and showed him, and I go, oh, I got it working, you know, and I showed it to him. He goes, oh, good. He goes, oh, you can keep it. And I go, well, why didn't you just give it to me before? And he goes, well, I knew you wouldn't fix it. So anyway, that's how I got this one. So it's a pretty neat gun. The only problem it has right now is when you're shooting it, every once in a while it'll kick open part way like that. And I've stretched this spring out in the latch here, and that seems to help. So I think what I might have to do is put a spacer in there. Those springs aren't available, but it's not a bad gun. I guess it was probably made in the around 1960 or something, maybe a little bit before that. It's kind of a neat looking gun with the, it has that target style grip on it. The cylinder, the gun's in pretty good shape. It's got the bluing worn off here. Still got the original case coloring on the hammer and the trigger, but the cylinder's all scratched up from, partially from it not indexing properly, and also too when you take it off, when you're putting it back on, it'll have a tendency to scratch too, I guess. So, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. Not a bad 22 pistol. I really like that one. And the price was right. This is the other one I have. I've been working on this one lately. I originally got this gun quite a few years ago. A buddy of mine had a metal detector, and we were out at the lake. During the winter, the water level of the lake goes way down. And so he was out there with his metal detector looking around, seeing if he could find anything. Well, anyway, I tripped on something, and there was about that much of the gun sticking out of the mud. And so I pulled it out. When I first pulled it out, I thought it was a cap gun or something, because it's completely coated in mud. So I took it home and cleaned it. Well, anyway, it's a 22 Frontier Scout. And I got it cleaned up and actually had it shooting. The only problem with it is this is the original barrel. The bore in it is actually oversized from being rusted out. So any more than about 7 yards, they start hitting the paper sideways because they're just not catching the rifling. So the other day I was looking, and I went on one of the parts dealers online and found out that this barrel's not available. You can see it's really badly pitted. I don't know if you can see that or not. This barrel was available. This one isn't available. They have one that's close. It's a John Wayne commemorative. It's stamped the Duke in the side, and they want about $130 for it. And this barrel is, it's a long one. It's a 7-inch instead of the 4.5 or whatever. And but it was only 18 bucks, and it's not stamped though anything. So I pulled the sight out and put it in, I turned it around the other way just for the heck of it. And I got this all cleaned up. This was really badly pitted, but luckily the material is really heavy, so I sanded it down and got that cleaned up. I got the hammer cleaned up and the trigger cleaned up. I got a new cylinder coming, probably be here Tuesday. It's an aftermarket cylinder, CNC machine. And so I'll have this back and shooting here shortly. This is my favorite gun, 22. So, pretty good gun. I don't know if it'll have much value when it's done, but it'll be nice to have it back to shooting. I don't like this long barrel on it though, because it's aluminum frame and it's way nose heavy on it. But it won't kick at all, that's for sure. Anyway, that's it. That's my 3. These are both pretty nice guns. I like revolvers, so. I had a 22 Mark I Ruger. I loaned it to a buddy, and that was that. See ya.